Hey, welcome back to the Cardsmiths. Max here. And today we got a really exciting video for you guys. And that's the announcement of a new game. And as you can see, that game is 7th Sea, City of Five Sails. So this announcement is particularly exciting for me, given the announcement of the end of the Legend of the Five Rings LCG and the end of organized play for that game. So FFG no longer has an active competitive LCG in production or with organized play support. So yeah, this announcement is particularly exciting given the circumstances in which it's being announced. And the more I've looked into this game, it looks really interesting, and it's something that that has piqued my interest, and I'm definitely getting excited about. So yeah. If I should note, for those of you who don't know and you're really interested in Legend of the Five Rings and the competitive play for that game, that's being continued on through the community effort of the Jade Council. So you should check out the Jade Council if you're really into L5R and you want to continue competitive play with that game. Just wanted to note that. Now, yeah, like I said, though, with the end of the announcement of official FFG organized play support for L5R, this is extra exciting to me. So let's dive in. Yeah, this is the 7th Sea, the City of the Five Sails. This was just announced on February 26th, it looks like. So very recently this announcement has been made, and this has been announced by Pinebox Entertainment. So Pinebox Entertainment has gotten the rights for Doomtown Reloaded, and they've been continuing that game since the end of the game with Alderac. They reached an agreement with another studio, I believe, as well. So yeah, Pinebox is continuing Doomtown Reloaded on, which is awesome. That's a game which I definitely want to get some plays in, as I've only played it once way back in the day, so would like to play some more Doomtown, as it looks really good. And yeah, Pinebox now announcing the 7th Sea, City of the Five Sails. Again, like I said, particularly exciting. So let's dive into the announcement here. It's an evolving tabletop game set in Thea's most interesting city. If you're new to the 7th Sea world universe, I am as well. So yeah, you're jumping in at the same point I am here. So going in with I've just done a little bit of research on it, but it's all pretty new to me as well. So yeah, we'll see what they have in store for us here. So I won't read through the entire article, but we'll just cover some brief points, try to keep this video a little bit shorter, and yeah, just again going over that this is a game which has been announced, and something to keep an eye on going forward as more announcements are made up until it's eventually released. So yeah, it says here, Pinebox Entertainment is proud to announce the development of a new experience for 7th Sea fans in the form of a hybrid card game board game. So maybe some of you watching this are familiar with the 7th Sea universe, whether that's through the Chaosium's role-playing game, or potentially the 7th Sea CCG, which was released I believe the 1990s. It was for sure coming out in the early 2000s, but I believe it was the 1990s. So an old collectible card game. I've heard good things about that, and it was a much loved game, certainly by its community. So yeah, and in the form of a hybrid card game board game. So that sounds really interesting. Folks familiar with our Doomtown game will find familiar concepts in area control and a player-driven storyline. So yeah, if you're a fan of L5R, that having the player-driven storyline be essential feature of that game, this might be particularly compelling to you. So Yeah, the player-driven storyline I think is great. Having cards which having organized play events which influence the ongoing storyline, and then being able to have that storyline impact which cards are designed and certain characters and themes, and the way that's fleshed out, that was something which I think is incredible about L5R, and it's something I'm definitely excited and interested about, and to see how it's going to be explored in this game. So players will choose a faction vying for control of the City of the Five Sails. Their leader and crew, along with hired mercenaries, will battle and duel over 3 locations within the city, probably is what they mean. Throughout the game, they must use influence, brawn, and finesse to outmaneuver and defeat their opponent. Five Sails is a port city with 5 districts representing 5 countries surrounding its border, but most importantly, it is itself a free city, operating independently from any of those outside influences. I won't read everything here, but I'll go down here, and it's a game of swashbuckling, sorcery, piracy, adventure, political intrigue, and skullduggery. So really, well, like, what more could you want? Honestly, I mean, no, it sounds really good. It does say this is not a game of naval combat, so if you're a big fan of the 7th CCG, that's something could be a deal breaker for you potentially, if you're hoping that it was really going to retain its format, the format of that. This game is not going to retain that format. While we did not go back to the format of the original 7th CCG, we believe that Five Sails retains the heart and soul of the original game at its core. So if you're not hell-bent on the naval combat aspect of the game, and you want that theme and story and the soul of the game with the soul of the original game, perhaps you will still enjoy this. So still maybe give it a shot. We will feature key elements from the 7th Sea role-playing game, so if you're a fan of the role-playing game, that's definitely exciting news. Incorporated into a rich storyline-driven tabletop experience. Players engage in combat duels that go back and forth with impending damage, parry, riposte, and thrust at your opponent, with the assistance of plot cards and attachments to damage and eliminate opposing crew members and mercenaries. So each leader has their own unique play style, so this would be like similar to your stronghold you're using in L5R, I assume, with additional ways to obtain hero points and forge a path towards victory. Alternatively, controlling the locations or assassinating the enemy leader will lead to domination over the city, so that location control aspect, definitely one which is being, at least to an extent, brought over from Doomtown, as that's area control, really location heavy game. And assassinating the enemy leader, that's particularly interesting, because that, to me, harkens back to the Conquest, Warhammer 40k Conquest LCG, where the elimination of the enemy warlord was a win condition. So it looks like that is going to be an aspect here as well, which multiple win conditions is always great. Again, just to reference L5R, like having honor, dishonor, and conquest, like as in breaking your opponent's provinces and stronghold. 3 different win conditions there, a really cool aspect of L5R, and again, it sounds like there's going to be different paths to pursue towards victory here, which is something really exciting. And you got some great art here. Actually, this art, I believe, it's the cover art, so if art is something, well, art's completely objective, so I'll let subjective, so I'll let you decide what you think of that. Personally, I think this art is great, and it's really cool. Some more art here. So now here it talks kind of more about like revealing schemes. So each day you reveal a scheme. That reminds me of the Game of Thrones LCG with the plot cards, and that helps determine the goal for their turn. So it's really cool to see different elements of lots of these games, and how there might be similar aspects of them coming to fruition here. Communal Mercenary deck will reveal events, artifacts, and characters at locations that players can recruit to aid their cause. I think that's really interesting to me. A communal deck, that's a very rare thing in a competitive card game. and a communal deck which both players are vying for certain cards in that deck, whether that be a certain character they want to recruit or an artifact. That is something incredibly interesting to me. And I won't read everything here, but if you want to, you should definitely go through this article yourself. But yeah, that's something super, super compelling to me, that communal deck. That's very interesting. So, yeah, setting the game in the City of the Five Sails gives us the freedom to build a solid ongoing story and depiction of various nationalities and secret societies, which bring more of the flavor of the world into the game. The more flavor, the better. So that's great to hear. Then now it talks about the interactor player-driven storyline. So again, similar to L5R, similar to Doomtown Reloaded, which is an ongoing game they have in production with Pinebox Entertainment has in production. So they anticipate the first interactive player-driven storyline experience as a key part of our inaugural World Championship at Gen Con 2022. So yeah, by then, hopefully people, it'll be safe for everyone around the world who wants to attend that event that's able to make it out. Hopefully it'll be safe to do so. So yeah, 2022 seems like a good date for that inaugural event. And again, yeah, this game is definitely something I'm going to be keeping my eye on, because I'm getting pretty excited for this, honestly. At this tournament and through local organized play, players will be able to determine the direction of the storyline fiction. Players will also be able to alter the communal mercenary deck for future expansions as the city and storyline evolve with an expanding card pool and additional factions. So the way the evolving storyline will impact that communal deck is particularly unique and interesting, I would say, as that communal deck something that both players will always be vying for the cards in it within the game. So it's something which the storyline seemingly could easily shape through the cards that are included there, and then those are cards which are going to be a part of every game, at least until that deck evolves again. So that seems like a really cool way to incorporate story there. As the city and storyline evolve with an expanding card pool and additional factions. Additional factions is one of the things I find most interesting in competitive card games. It's really cool to explore different factions, unique play styles, themes. Also, like, the more factions there are, the more likely it is that there's one that really suits the theme and play style and that you're looking for. So that's more factions is always a welcome inclusion. I mean, as long as it doesn't get to a ridiculous level, obviously. But yeah, that sounds great. The key thing about the mercenary deck is I won't get into the specifics here, but we'll keep going, and if you want to, I'll include a link to this article in the video description below. So the initial box set containing everything you need to play 7th Sea, the City of the Five Sails, will follow the story of the Five Sails as initially presented in the 7th Sea role-playing game. So if you're familiar with the role-playing game, you know where the story's at, and it's story-wise, you're one step ahead. So, and yeah, that's it here. Talks just a little bit more about the designers. They've recently been joined by a Legend of the Five Rings CCG designer. So that's pretty interesting. And so those not familiar with the 7th Sea property, you can go check it out there through that link if you're looking at this article yourself. You can stay up to date on the news here if you want to. And if this sounds really interesting to you and you're really excited about this, you can actually you can try to join playtesting here. So you can send them an email if this looks really interesting to you and that's something that you want to try to do. So that's it for this article here. Pop over to Chaosium's website, and again, this is just a really just a briefer version of it. There's not really any information here that's distinct from the other article, I wouldn't say. It's kind of repeating the same thing, but there is the announcement on Chaosium's page there as well. So we'll leave it on this nice art here. So yeah, that wraps up the video. Just wanted to do a quick video covering the announcement of this game. It's something which I kind of happened upon, and I heard it referenced in a YouTube video I was watching a little while back, and I didn't think too much of it. And then yeah, I came across it just again the other day, and the more I've looked into it, the more interested I've become. So yeah, getting pretty excited about this. Really excited actually, and it's something I'm going to be keeping an eye on going forward. Hopefully the mechanics of the game are something that's sound, but knowing Doomtown Reloaded, I have a fair amount of confidence that that they will be. So that wraps up the video. If you want to see more of these kind of videos on 7th Sea going forward, covering announcements leading up until the release, let me know in the comments below. It's something that can potentially be done. And otherwise, thank you for watching. If you made it to the end of this video here, hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll catch you guys next time.